2x2 sweater back.
Today on CJ's Knits, we're going to knit the world's simplest sweater using any standard gauge with a ribber. And all we're going to do is we're going to do 2x2 ribbing to make a men's size 38 sweater. Now, normally I use mystery yarn from the craft store, but this time I'm actually using a product called Holst Yarn Super Soft 100% wool in silver gray. So anyone on earth can order this yarn, have it delivered to their home, and knit this project. As long as you have, of course, a knitting machine. So we are going to start with knitting the back, then the front, the collar, and then the sleeves. This is a simple straight sleeve sweater. So the only shaping that we have to do is for the going around the neckline, and then we are actually shaping downward towards the cuff for the sleeve, because we start sleeve top down, as I do most of my straight sleeve sweaters. So let's get going. I need to make sure that I have the right number of needles out, and then we need to decide on our cast on for this project. I normally like to do a more convoluted way of starting a project, but today is not that kind of a day. So we're going to start with 74 left in 1x1 ribbing, and we're going to see how close we get to 74 right, and then we're going to go from there. So we could do 75 right, or just leave it at the bottom. I think we're just going to leave it. And just go with the flow. So 1x1 spacing with the right side on the ribber is the last needle. That's a 74, and 74 on the left side is on the main bed. So that's 73 on the main, 74 on the ribber, 74 on the main, and 73 on the ribber, to keep it at exactly left 44 and right 44 for the back of the sweater. We are going to do 23 rows of ribbing in 1x1 to start, and then we will do 316 rows of 2x2. So that's going to be fun. Let's start with casting on our 1x1. I am going to have to move my camera so that it doesn't interfere with the tension mast. So let me pause, get that done, and then we'll come back and start knitting the ribbing for the back of the sweater. Okay, we're going to start with the traditional route of having a foundation row and then circular. I don't want to waste too much yarn. Everything looks good. Let's reset this now. Okay. So I suppose we could call this a knit along for the KH or KR 850 ribber, because we are going to use the ribber and nothing really fancy. for this entire project. I do need to grab my favorite cast-on comb though. Okay, cast-on comb. Going from the right to the left. Right up through the head. I'm pretty close to center on this one, so I'm pretty happy about that. Taking a deep breath. I'm going to put 2 large weights on either end. After a few rows, I will add some extra weights to it. I'm going to be knitting tension 3 for the ribbing anyway, so I'm just going to leave it in tension 3. I'm going to go part on the main bed going to the right and part on the ribber going to the left for 3 rows. So here's 1. 2, 3. Everybody's at a part. Keeping it in 3, resetting my row counter, and I'm going to knit 23 rows. Okay, this is the point at which we need more weight. I'm going to add a single large barrel weight to the center, and I'm going to knit 2 more rows and see how it feels. I feel this needs more weight, so I'm going to add another 2 barrel weights. And that should do it for now. Okay, I'm going to finish knitting to row 23. Okay, that's 23 rows. I want to be on the right hand side, so I'm going to add an extra row and knit 24. All right, from here I'm going to transfer to 2x2 ribbing. So I want the center to be up on the main bed. And I'm just going to transfer them up and down from there. This is probably the least interesting part of the project. So I'm just going to pause the video, get this done, and then we'll come back. Okay, I am halfway done. I'm now going to work on the right side. Okay. I'm making sure that I put my needles that are not in work back out of work, so I don't accidentally have any that are clashing. And I am simply going back and forth, transferring the stitches. Okay, the inspiration for this sweater is the gray sock monkey sweater that I made just a few years ago. But in this case, we are just doing a solid color. And again, in a size 38. All right. Now we need to change our tensions and get ready for the next part. We need to reset our row counter to all zeros. We need to reset our tension to 6, 6. No buttons are pushed. Everything's in normal knitting. Lily buttons are normal. You're in stage 1. Taking a deep breath. And now we are going to knit. No, we're not. We need to make sure that these end stitches knit off. We need some 7 weights. We're going to grab 7 weights. We're going to very gently fish them in on these edges. Put a small weight on the 7 weight. Small weight on the 7 weight. Now we don't have to worry. Now we're going to knit across. Going to the left. Tension 6, 6. I have 177 more rows to go for the armhole. Everything looks good. For real, this is going to take forever. We'll come back when I am way closer to 177 rows. Okay, I am 131 rows in. As you can see, it is fantabulous. I have a little catch here that I'm going to have to fix when we're done. I'm just going to very carefully weave a yarn tail in and just make sure that it stays nice and secure. So just going to keep at it. We'll come back when we are closer to the 171 rows. Or 77, whatever it was. Okay, I have 20 rows to go. Okay, 4 more rows. Okay, I now need to set a marker. I got some nice contrasty yarn here. I'm now going to mark the edges on both sides for the sleeve hole. Okay, I'm not going to struggle with these. I'm just going to put the ribber stitch up. Put in my little yarn mark. Tie a little knot. Put it around the loop there. And pull it down. I take a clip and I clip that yarn. Now try and make sure that you don't get a gate peg in there. Now just take a deep breath and we will continue knitting to row 316. If you haven't moved your 7 weights, it's a good time to do it. There you go. All right, so we'll meet back when we're closer to 300 rows. Okay, so I'm at row 203, still going at it. Here's 204. And 5. And 6. I don't go fast. It's a long process. All right, this is row 296 and now 297. This is row 300. I have 16 more rows to knit, and I have maybe an inch before my cast on comb hits the floor again. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, we're getting close. I'm going to move up my 7 weights here. Four rows. Okay, this is the last row. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am now going to transfer all of the stitches from the ribber up onto the main bed. And then I'm going to mark for where the collar is going to go. So I'm going to pause the video, transfer the stitches, and then figure out where those are. Okay, I just found out that the stitch I need is 25 left and 25 right. That's where I'm going to place a yarn mark. So let's see if I can remember to do that. Okay, I'm getting close to the edge here. Now, let's go a higher contrast. So 25 left. And 25 right. And we better mark 0, just so that we remember that it's there. Because when we go to do the collar, we're going to need to know exactly where center is. Actually, I'm going to use pull this out just a little bit and put this on the bar in between, so it is at actual 0. All right, so at this point, I'm just going to cut my main yarn, grab some waste yarn, and remove it from the bed. Okay, as you can see, I found some really contrasty colors. So now I'm just going to latch tool off my waste yarn, and then we'll take a look at this piece. It's going to look really funny because I have really stretched out the piece, but once it's washed, dried, it'll be perfect. Okay, when you look at this piece, you think it's too skinny and it's too long. But you got to remember, this is going to stretch out. And when it stretches out this way, it shrinks this way. So be calm. The entire point of this project, hang on, where did my little sample go? Is that it will look like this. You can see a huge difference in the spacing, so it's going to spread out and it's going to get shorter. No panic. Next time you see me, we're going to knit the front and then we'll knit the sleeves. Well, we're going to knit the collar and then we're going to knit the sleeves.